don't know if you were when I was doing the mock. I know you came in. I did 3 mocks. One I let the people, pick, and then as we were going, I did different things. Okay, so people won't hear you. Go ahead. I saw that. We're gonna talk about that in the Oakland guard. I was surprised about that. I'm not gonna lie. Not because we keep RG3. Yeah, we said that we were gonna trade him. Yeah. I just think they probably. I don't know if McSorley will be ready, but that's 2 extra mil there that they can use. I don't disagree with you. If anything, he disappointed me a little bit last year when I saw him. Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I'm surprised that somebody would want him. Let me put this on Twitter. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. We're gonna start soon. So we're gonna do your mic check once we go live, or in the other thing. From Oakland. I think it was Schefter. It was a Schefter report. And I have to do this. Let me set up this. Okay, I lost you there for a moment. Okay. Now, but we're live. If you go out there, it's just starting soon. So, but we're gonna start in 30 seconds as soon as I had this ready here. Here, boom, 4 rounds, start. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's do this thing. Renegade. Okay, my guys, you guys let me know how we sound, how we looking, how everything is going. I have my boy here, Sutton Death. We have been talking with him for a while. He's doing special things in his podcast, his YouTube channel. So go give him a follow. I forgot to put the links in below, but remind me because I'll do it.
we'll plug it later. Yeah, we'll do it later.
So all right, today's show we're gonna have Yanda's retirement. We're gonna be talking about what we can do. We're gonna do a live mock draft. So this is the first 30 to 40 minutes. We're gonna do all that stuff. Free agency, I know it got pushed back for a little bit. RG3 trade rumors. What to do Judon. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Also, after that, we'll do a couple of callers if we have time. But let my boy Sutton here introduce himself. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm glad to be here on Sonny's channel for the first time. I've been on Nubo's channel, I think maybe like twice now, but this is the first time I'm on Sonny's channel, so this is a milestone for me. I appreciate you for letting me on, bro. From the Diet Therapy Podcast on YouTube or SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, you can get the Diet Therapy Podcast. That's at the Diet Therapy Podcast, or you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def. That's SUTTONDEF. So yeah.
Okay, and I'm hoping everything sounds good. If something doesn't sound good, you guys let me know. Okay? So, let's talk about Yanda. Let's get Yanda out of the way. It sucks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It
Oh
sucks.
yeah.
There's no sugarcoating
Oh
this.
yeah.
Yes, we get 7 mil back and all this other stuff, but it sucks. And it sucks
Yeah, it definitely
because
sucks.
we had a rock on the right guard. We have a rock, in my opinion, at left tackle. For some reason, some Ravens fans like to dispute that. And then from the left tackle, left guard is iffy, center is iffy. We used to have a rock on the right guard. And on the right tackle side, I would say Zeus is up and coming to be a rock. He's not completely there, but he's good. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about him. But dude, oh my God, I would have betted that he would have come back. That was my bet. We lost that in there for a moment. So I would have thought that he was coming back, and damn, he didn't. I was surprised. So, by the way, guys, do you how's the stream looking? I'm not paying attention to that. I should. Okay, I guess it looks fairly good. Something will reconnect soon. Anyway, so saying this, it was hard to see. I mean, I haven't seen anything, but it's hard to know that we are not gonna have a Yanda back. Cause man, Yanda has been with us for the longest time. He has. So okay, so we're gonna try to reconnect here with my boy. I don't know what happened here. It became little. See, this is the technical problems that Nubu talks about all the time. Okay. Oh. Okay, he's back. Yep, maybe. Okay, hold on. Let me resize you here. Yeah. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. There he is. Okay, so I was giving my spiel about Yanda, but I'll let you talk about Yanda. What is your thoughts about losing Yanda?
Well, my thing about Yonda is that we all knew this was coming. We didn't know when. I heard you talking right before I disconnected. We all wish we could, keep him for, more time or at least one more season. Just give us one more year, Yonda. Just one more. We can do it. We almost did it this past season, so just give us one more shot, and we might be able to get you that second ring. But a guy has to take care of himself, his body, his family, his finances, all that good stuff. So definitely much respect to Marshall Yanda and everything that he's done for our organization, our team, our offensive line. He's been a staple for our offensive line since 2007. So, big shout out to him. But my thing is replacing him. Excuse me. What do we do? So do we give Ben Powers more reps? Do we, I heard even maybe getting Kelechi Osemele back, who's a free agent right now, and plugging him in there. So who do you think are we really going to replace Marshall Yanda with?
So there's a couple of alternatives here. And it's also hinging on how Skura is. The reality is, if Skura they think he can be back of the Skura that was before the big injury, right, then you can think, okay, you can put Skura there. He was playing well before the injury. And Makari showed potential, so you can say, Makari, you're going to fight with Powers, probably winning, and then Powers could be that guy to be the backup of any of them. Okay? And at that point, you don't have elite players there, but you have competent guards, right? And you can go to the season with that. Obviously, can you go ahead and get, I think his last name is Tulip, the guy from New England. Can you get him? Maybe. If you think about it, if he's like 11, so let's say he's 11 or 12, so in theory it's $5 million from the cap that you currently have, because Marshall Yanda will give you a $7 million relief. He's a Pro Bowler like Yanda. He's a possibility. So if they're gonna go with a good guard, I'll say go get him. But they should know by now, where does Ben Powers stand? If Ben Powers is that guy, if Skura, they need to monitor Skura, to see where he's at. Which is tricky. That's where the line is. Should we draft a guy. I think if the right guy is there, we're gonna do some mock drafts with trades soon. So if the right guy is there, maybe if the free agent, which there are not that many, if he's one of them is there, you take him. But overall, it's not much you can do. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, my big thing about this whole losing a big piece of our offensive line thing is that we don't necessarily need, and I use the word need loosely. We don't necessarily need these A-plus guys on our offensive line who are going to take up a lot of money, a bunch of money. I believe that we can succeed through the draft how we always have. We don't need to go out and necessarily spend a lot of money on guys like A-plus guys on our offensive line who are only going to last another, maybe 4 or 5 more years. And then they'll be gone. And I think that another thing with our offensive line, having the quarterback that we have in Lamar Jackson, he makes our offensive line look a lot better than it really is. Just because of his ability to kind of get out of there and make it seem like, oh, nothing really was wrong with the pocket. Lamar just darted out. I feel like that happens a lot. It's happened a lot this past season and even in his first season, the first 7 or 8 games he played. So I just want us to find a very viable and cheap option that can just do the job right, just like kind of Makari did. Makari, if you noticed, after Skura had went down, Makari stepped up into his role, and it was very unnoticeable. Like that role, like that position was very unnoticeable. We didn't really hear too much about it because Makari was kind of just plug and play. And I feel like our offensive line is sort of like a plug and play type of thing. Of course, you need good guys who know how to move laterally and well, but we don't need A-plus guys. We don't need to waste our money on those type of guys.
Yeah, so a couple of things. Makari did okay. Skura was doing better, in my opinion. But for Tim Miller here, yeah, you always draft O lineman. Always. I don't remember the last time that the Ravens didn't draft an O lineman. Can't remember. Even if it is the later rounds, you always draft an O lineman.
Always.
And that's what they're gonna do because right now, let's say they wanna cut James Worst, as Nuvo likes to call him.
Jane Worst.
Yeah. So you have Senant and Powers and the guy from Cincy, Smith. Those are your line, but Smith can be replaceable with a cheaper option. And then Powers, you're hoping that he can eventually step up to be that guard. In reality is, guys, you can. This is to your point, son. You cannot have A+ throughout the team. Everybody would like to have A+ around the team. There's a cap.
Yeah.
You can't. This is why. Look at the Cowboys, which I love because I am a Cowboy hater. Look at the Cowboys. They don't know what to do, so they have to let Byron Jones go, and they might have to let one of the other guys go because they don't know if they can sign Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. And they sure cannot sign Byron Jones, so they already said that he's probably walking. So it is a cap situation, and it is what it is. I mean, it sucks, but that's why you keep, because O-linemen are expensive, they're hard to find, and sometimes you have to, it's a crapshoot. You have to keep shooting until, oh, look at that guy. Scary was an undrafted guy. He was. Yeah. And Makari's an undrafted guy. And Bosun was a 6th round? I think he was a 6th round. So the only high draft capital we have in that line is Stanley, which is a 6 overall from a couple years ago. And we need to sign him because left tackles are super hard to find.
Super rare.
And the league has a bunch of lineman issue. They do.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. So let's deviate a little bit and say, I don't know if you saw that the comp picks came out.
Oh yeah. We got one of the third, right?
We got one of the thirds. Now they this year they give a lot of thirds. They used to not give as many, and we got a 4th. We got a 3rd for CJ, and we got a 4th for Smokey Brown and Sedarius, because I saw a couple of people talking about Sedarius and ET washed out. So that comp pick went out for ET. Okay. But that is great, and the software already reflects our picks. But that's good. Look, we had to draft capital, and as we see in this draft, like I said, we're gonna do some trades. We're gonna play up with it a little bit. As you see in this draft, I think, I don't know about you, son, 28 is a place that I don't think you should draft. because as many mocks that I do, and as I done my own mocks, 28 is a place that you should either trade up, because there's a couple of people in the 23, 24, 22 range that are really good.
They're game changers.
And
Yeah.
at 28, you're like, but behind me, there's a bunch of other guys that get trade back and still get my guy. So I feel like 28 is, it's like, I cannot see us just staying at 28. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, the pick 28th is kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of pick. So I think trading up would be beneficial for us because, like you said, a guy in the 22, 23 range, and those guys kind of flip flop, every week, week to week. But one of those guys could definitely be a big game changer for us. But I don't think that we necessarily need to. I think that a guy like Kenneth Murray is readily available for us at the 28th pick, which, a lot of people, of course, speculate him going to us. But I do think that we definitely do need that linebacker presence that we lost in CJ Mosley. So I do think that we're kind of good where we're at. I don't want EDC to force it. That's the one thing I don't want him to do. I don't want him to force it, and I know he won't. There's a bunch of smart guys behind the scenes at the Ravens, front office. So I know they won't force it, but I just want them to make the right decision. I don't feel like we necessarily need to trade up, but again, I'm not the one being paid, millions of dollars to really look into this stuff to see exactly what the Ravens need to do.
Agree. So, guys, I threw up a video of YouTube Girls Models yesterday. I was working on Epinesa, but as you can see, my voice wasn't cooperating yesterday. And today I'm feeling a little bit better, so I'm hoping tomorrow I go back to to do my thing so I can throw Epinesa's video out there, hopefully this week. But yeah, so for example, Epinesa is a perfect guy, and I'm not gonna say too much about him because I do want you guys to watch the video. These guys between Yetur and Epinesa, my thing with them is I don't know if they can be an outside backer, which is roughly what we're looking for. In my opinion, they're a perfect fit in a 4-3 DN. Can they be a 3-4 DN? Epinesa's a huge guy, man. Whew, that dude is big. And he's good. But he had a bad combine. And I hate that people put so much stock in the combine. And the only reason I talk about the combine in the channel is because they put a lot of stock in the combine. Zeus went out. Every year you have one of these guys that was talked as a top 10 and sliced out. Edwin James happened. Edmonds happened a couple years ago. Hollywood was supposed to go higher. Who else? Oh man, the receivers that went to Atlanta and Carolina, those two were supposed to go high. There's always a player that sliced down. There's always somebody that gets overdrafted. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
It is what it is because there's a team falls in love with that guy. And let me say also something, because I keep getting people saying like, oh no, he's a first round. If I count every time you guys tell me that guy's a first round, there's more than 32 picks. So you have to make up your mind because there's only 32 slots, right? You cannot have 50 first rounders. Can they have a first round grade? When I talk to you guys about first rounders, I think that guy's going to get picked in the first round, right? There's only 32. Try to put your mental pictures like, okay, let me see who are first rounders and do your own thing, and you will see there's good guys that will slip out. I will not be surprised if Mary slips out of the first round. I will not be surprised if Queen slips out of the first round because those positions have been not super devalued, but if you think that there might be 4 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, linemen are gonna go, like especially tackles, go crazy. So keep pushing people, and then it's just the nature of it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Yeah. I mean, shoot, guys, I hope a guy like Patrick Queen or Kenneth Murray slips to us. I think somebody like that could be really good for us, especially like a Patrick Queen. I would love. He's actually, no, going back to who you were talking about, AJ Epinesa, he's like, what, 6'5", 275 or something like that?
I had it here. I mean, I have so many notes around here. I think he's 6'6".
I think that, honestly, anybody that we get in the first round is somebody that we can turn into a star. I think that, like, I just have that much faith in EDC as a GM to draft somebody who is going to be a game changer for us, i.e. Hollywood Brown from last year. When we drafted him, a lot of people were kind of upset about it, including Joe Nubo.
I was with
You
them,
know, it
yeah.
wasn't exactly, yeah, and yeah, he wasn't really excited about us drafting Hollywood Brown, and he ended up being one
Okay.
of the staple pieces of our offense. This year. So I think that anybody that we get, I'm not gonna say anyone, but like anybody that EDC has his faith in, whether it be an AJ Epineza or a Kenneth Murray or a Patrick Queen if he slips to us, I think that they're going to be game changers and make an impact on our team.
For sure. And let's transition also to Judon. It's
Judon.
still the hot topic. What we're gonna do with Judon, guys? I am 99% sure that we're gonna tag him. Will we trade him? That's where I'm not completely sure, but I think probably. The reality is there is only Clowney, I think, that's gonna make the free agency of the top rushers. Only Clowney. And Ngakoue's gonna get tagged. Judon's gonna get tagged. Barrett is gonna get tagged. And I don't know if there's somebody else probably gonna get tagged. Okay. It's yeah. The Barrett, they're gonna sign him. But Ngakoue already said, I don't want to deal with you guys. Jacksonville, you guys suck. I want out of here. Right? He already said that. He's willing to fight them. He doesn't want to be there. Okay. So saying that, and the reason I'm saying that is Judon you tag and Ngakoue you tag, and those two teams, both the Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars, are going to sit on those players until Clowney signs. Why until Clowney signs? Because everybody's going to look, once he signs, now the teams that try to pursue Clowney are going to look at the Ravens and are going to look at the Jaguars. I think Ngakoue probably going to cost more on the trading value, but I'm going to go with the rumor says that the Ravens are probably going to get off for a second and a fifth from the Jets. I seen that rumor floated there before. That's an early second. That's how you package and move high. If you like a guy like Shizon, if you like a guy, who else? Oh, another guy that is sliding in some mock draft because he didn't have the best combine. Yeah, Derek Brown. So I've been watching tape from him. A beast in the inside of the line. If he doesn't slide away to us, but he's sliding to the 15, 17, a place where you can probably package that second round in your first round and go get him. I'm just saying that trade will give you some flexibility. So, but like going back to what you're saying, Sutton, I do agree. Sudden death. EDC is you have to trust him. Even when it doesn't look good, you have to trust him. Last year, I wasn't a fan of the Hollywood pick because I was like, he's so tiny. Lamar was having problems with accuracy, so his catch radius is not that big. It ended up being one of the best things that happened. And the rest of the picks I love, minus Imam Marshall. The rest of the picks, I was all good with them. But yeah, man, I don't know. What do you think we should do with Judon?
Judon, honestly, I honestly think that we should keep him. I don't think that we can afford to keep losing guys on the edge that have proven themselves, to be above average. We need somebody who can rush the passer, because if we don't have that, that means our secondary has to work twice as hard, which is going to make it, worse on our defense. So I think that we need a guy like Judon, and we need somebody in addition to Judon. We don't need to keep replacing, Za'Darius, and now Judon's, kind of in that limelight, and now we're taking Judon out, and then we're going to plug in Jadeveon Clowney or Yannick Ngakoue if we can get him. That sort of thing. I feel like we need to have a dual threat, and maybe not like a one, two really, really good guys, like A+ guys, like maybe like a 1A and a 1B, like we had with Judon and Za'Darius Smith. We just need two guys on both sides, I feel like, and I feel like we need to stop just replacing guys, and we need to kind of add on to what we already have. What do you think?
I don't disagree with that statement, but it doesn't look like they want to pay him. Because at this point, they're not talking about they're close to any contract discussions with Judon, right? they're basically, I think they're basically assuming they're gonna tag him and trade him. I don't know if they think Ferguson's gonna step up next year. Fergie later in the year looked better. At the beginning, I used to call him a magnet because as soon as the ball got snapped, he was just like
glued,
fused with whoever the
Yep.
O line was. But then he got better. He got pushed. He definitely needs to get some weight because his thing is the bull rush. I didn't see any more moves. That was his
No
thing in
spin
college.
moves,
I didn't see
nothing.
anything else. So if he wants to bull rush people, he definitely needs to put some weight. He needs to put more. He needs to get some strength. Epinesa, going to that guy. Let me just say a little bit about him. Is I like him a lot. Not only he's strong, he does have some good what you call that, hand placement. Versus,
Yeah.
I talk about Yetur Gross Matos. Again, go watch that video. Yetur Gross Matos is a guy that I think for pass rushing is a project.
Yeah.
He is not like Ferguson, that Ferguson needed a lot to work on, but Yetur has a lot of things to improve. He's good against the run, but he has a lot to improve.
But Sonny, let me ask you this though. Do you think that we can afford picking up a project type of guy with the smaller window as we have, to win a championship?
No, so
Yeah.
in the video I said like, this is not a guy you draft in the first round. I mean, I said,
Right.
this is a guy you draft in the first round if you're not the Ravens. Because
Right, yeah,
in a
exactly.
4-3, I think he would be more of a fit. And I'm not sure how you fit him, so you have to try him as a 3-4 DN. Can he be an outside backer? And in that, he's learning, right? I want a first-round pick to be my first pick. Let's say the first pick. Whoever, even if we trade back to early second, whatever my pick is, I need it to be impactful. I need it to
Right.
be. Look, we are gonna sign somebody. We are. If let's say we sign a middle linebacker, so take the middle linebackers out. So that means we gotta draft an edge rusher. So that edge rusher has to be impactful. Let's say we sign an edge, or we keep Judon, and we need a middle linebacker. That middle linebacker has to be impactful. Let's say we draft an
Right.
interior D lineman, whoever, wide receiver, whoever has to come in day one and has to be contributing. That first round pick. Second round pick,
Agreed.
I have a little bit more leeway with the third, and so then I know it's more of a project depending on the position, but for the most part, they are project. Now, on the wide receiver side, there's a lot of depth in this round and on this draft. So
Oh yeah.
I know people love the receiver. This is why I did a bunch of receiver videos, and I know you guys want me to do a bunch of other. I needed a break from watching receiver tape, so I went with the edge rushers. But yeah, man, we need, again, trust ADC. We need to figure out once free agency comes and goes. It will tell more. Now, this is something I did want to discuss because this drove me crazy when I saw Daniel Jeremiah. I didn't even see because I don't follow that many mock drafts. I don't watch that many news from sports anymore since I
Right.
do this, because if not, I don't want it to influence my decision or my opinion.
Right.
But so usually I get it from people sending me. So somebody tagged me in Nubo like, oh, and then I saw I do follow the Ravens little videos that they do. So Jeremiah had us drafting a running back
Oh yeah,
from
yeah.
Georgia.
DeAndre, what's his name?
I don't even care who it is. I don't even care.
Or Swift or something.
There's very few positions that I'm having watched at all tape. Running back is one. There's
Yeah.
Look, the whole best player available is such a cliche, overblown statement. It's the
Yeah.
best player available in the position of need. Let's
Exactly.
say for some reason Joe Burrow drops all the way to 28. At 28, Joe Burrow will be the best player available. There's no way that the Ravens will draft Joe Burrow. Same thing with
Yeah.
Tua. It is the best player at the position of need. Not only you have Ingram, you have a guy, a Gus Edwards, that is proven that he can carry the load. And then you
Yeah.
have a guy like Hill that he can be up and down. We don't know much about him yet. So can you go draft a running back? Sure, in the third, fourth, fifth round. Yeah, for more depth because running backs tend to get hurt. But you have two solid starting running backs. Gus Edwards is a starting running back.
Yeah.
He doesn't carry as much now with Ingram. They split carries. Ingram's carries also went down from previous years, but both caliber starting running back. Putting an extra running back there, what it's gonna do is bringing the carries and the impact of those players down. Now you have to look for a player that can impact a position of need, a position that you definitely need.
Yeah.
Anyway, it drove me crazy, and then I saw some Ravens fans on board with this. No, I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, man. I think I talked about this last week with Joe. I was basically just saying it doesn't make any sense. Like you were saying, I agree wholeheartedly. Like I can maybe understand the argument if you're coming from the angle that okay, we draft a running back, the best running back in the draft according to a lot of experts and analysts. We draft him, trade a Gus Edwards or a Justice Hill, try to get something back out of them to maybe get some more picks, maybe get some more, capital in some sort of way in order to benefit. Now, it's kind of far fetched because you're kind of banking on one thing happening and then the other thing happening and then, things kind of falling into place that way. But on the surface, no, like I said, it doesn't make any sense for us to draft a running back, no matter who it is, no matter how high they rank in the average draft position or if they're the best player available. It doesn't matter, because we don't need a running back. We have Mark Ingram. We have, like you said, a Gus Edwards. We have a Justice Hill. And most importantly, we have Lamar Jackson. We have the key we have the keys to this running game stuff. Like nobody is going to stop us from running the football. And we don't need to add any more pieces to our running game. If anything, it's our receiving core.
I agree. So before we continue, guys, make sure you hit that like button. That helps me a lot. Always comment on the videos. I appreciate all that. Shout out to, I saw a lot of you guys. I haven't been able to do the check because I'm in the background. I'm moving a couple of things here. So if you had questions, you can always do super chat. If not, I'm gonna try to get questions as we go. Okay. So now, and also follow my boy, subscribe Sutton Death, his channel. Not only Great Ravens discussions, he also do other topics. I watch, man. I have watch.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Okay. Now, guys, let's do a mock draft. And again, this mock draft is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have trades. I already checked. They updated with the new picks. Again, we talked about it earlier today. Comp picks are third round and a fourth round. So at this point, we have 1 first, 1 second, 2 thirds, 3 fourths, because we had a fourth from New England. 3 fifths, I think. Or maybe it's 2 fifths because we traded a fifth. Yeah, around there. And a seventh. We don't have a 6th round. I forgot who we traded that 6th round for. Oh, the 5th round we traded to the Rams. One of the 5th. We traded to the Rams and we got Vic. We got the 5th round for Vic. Okay? So, as we're going to put this on the screen, you guys can give it your opinion. I'm going to stop the draft before us if there's anything interesting and stuff like that. Okay? So, Sutton, because I know you're probably going to delay, so you're probably not going to be able to see it in real time. But yeah. So, I'm going to I'll tell you what we have here. Okay?
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to start this. Oh, yeah, we're going to start this draft. So, obviously, first pick, Joe Burrow. Second pick, this thing went with CeeDee Lamb. Chase Young got there early. So, the reason I said I'm going to stop it a little bit early, I'm going to stop around pick 20, because that's 8 picks before us. You can see the talent with something that we were speaking of. So, here, pick 20. So, players that we have here are Kinlaw. So, if interior D lineman that looks really good. DeAndre Swift, that's the guy that we were talking about. Hell no. And then you have the safeties. Epinesa is still there. So, again, Epinesa, I think, is, in my opinion, for what I've seen, a 3-4 DM for us. He can be that destructive DM that you need. Can he play outside backer? I'm not completely sure, but in a passing situation, he can definitely kick out as an outside rusher, okay? So, at pick 20, I wouldn't mind looking into that trade at that moment. That should not cost you an arm and a leg. It might cost you one of those thirds, but now you have 2, okay? So I'm not going to attempt Chase on, which is another edge rusher. He already went off pick 16. He blew off the combine. He's going to go early. Okay, will you trade up to get a guy like Epinesa in your case, Sutton?
Uh, I mean, I would honestly because my most important thing. So if I had to rank the important things on our defense, it's one, pass rush, and then number two is our linebacking play.
Okay.
So if we can get somebody like an Epinesa, off the edge, who is not, of course, he's not like I've watched some of his tape. He's not a speed rusher, but he's a skilled guy.
Yeah.
So if we can get somebody who can get home using technique, that's great because what does that mean? To get home more often because they're using technique. I would rather have him as opposed to a guy like Kenneth Murray. I feel like we can get more value at linebacker later on in the draft since we do have so many more picks. So I would trade up for Epinesa, a guy like that.
Okay, so I see my boy Garnett West saying no, and I get you, Garnett, because again I think he's more of a 3-4 end. He goes back to what Yetur Gross Matos says. In my opinion, both of them are 4-3 ends, but this guy is better than Yetur. I think he'll be better than him. Now, will he be a perfect fit? Not quite sure. It's part of the scouting process that they have to make, but I think at 3-4 end he might be able to make some damage. Oh, okay. Also, let me see where this other guy went. So Derek Brown in this draft went number 9. Okay, anyway. So let's keep going. So Panessa went 22 to the Bills. I think for the Bills that's a perfect fit. So for us, pick 28 gets here. Delpit is there. A bunch of running backs who nobody cares. Love is there. Gallimore there. Bond, I don't know if you like Zach Bond on the edge. Yeah, but so in my opinion, if this is why I keep saying for most of my guys, right? This is the scenario that I think it would happen. I'm looking at this and I'm like, there's a bunch of guys that I can get later. Murray's still there. I guess Queen got drafted by the Aints. So and then there's a bunch of wide receivers. So would you trade back or would you want to get one of these guys?
Shoot. I mean, honestly, I don't really see the point so much in trading back when we have one first, we have one second, we have 2/3, right, and we have 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a healthy amount of picks, deeper in the draft. So I feel like we should probably try to go out and get one of those guys. I feel like we need a piece of the pie. Right.
Okay.
So we need one of the guys who are on the forefront of this draft class, that have already proven something in college, who aren't as much of projects as the guys that, are like in the third, fourth, later rounds. So
Okay.
I do think that it would be good if we did pick earlier.
Okay, so who's your pick then? Murray? Mims? Rieger?
Jesus. Well, I mean, I go with Murray. Honestly, because like I said, I don't see anybody else around that pick time that is going to be very, very good off of the edge. So I think with my second priority, like I said, for the defense, I think we need a guy at linebacker. Somebody who can either drop back in coverage or create a little bit of pressure whenever they need to. I feel like that's very important. And if we can't get, like I said, somebody on the line who's going to be able to rush the quarterback well, in that first round, I feel like we cut our losses. We get that linebacker, that kind of safety net for the defense,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a couple of things here from the chat. Again, guys, I'm trying to monitor the chat. Thank you for everybody that is participating. I do agree with Garnett. Mims is not a bad pick. I will trade back and try to get Mims because there's still a lot of wide receivers. But in the second round, like I said before, day 2 is going to be the day of the receivers. With Craven, shout out to Craven, I don't agree on Delpit. Look, it goes back to safety. Is safety a bigger need than running back? For sure. You can use him in different ways. But in the case of Delpit, it's going to be in a position that is crowded and it's not as big as a need as another guy. Murray can be more impactful than Delpit, in my opinion. Okay, so Sutton, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this draft based on you. And then I'll do another one, okay? So I'm going to draft Kenneth Murray. Boom. This is Sutton's draft.
Yes, sir. Kenneth Murray.
Kenneth Murray is our first pick up, pick 28. So now, like Garnett was saying, there's a bunch of receivers going. No, we have here. Mims already went. Yeah, Mims went out. So we're pick 43. We're pick 60. That's a big jump. But then there's still a lot of wide receivers. So I'm gonna resume the draft here. The Squealers pick is coming. Let me see. Corner probably. No, tackle. Yeah, that's not a bad pick for them. Okay. So as we get in here, the Ravens pick next and is okay. So we have their linebacker, and here's your picks, Sutton. You have KJ Hamler. I don't know if you've seen for him before. Penn State. Ayuk, Arizona, a wide receiver. You have a tight end, Kemet, another position that I haven't looked much. Aquara on the edge for Notre Dame. Uch for Michigan. Inside O lineman, you have Cushenberry's not there anymore, but you have Moody, you have Harris. So some of the let me see here. We have, I don't know if corner's another position. We have linebackers, tackler, safety. I don't know. Would you rather trade back, or are you looking more into the receiver side or some of the edge?
Like I have kind of two things that I might want to do. I mean, I might want to trade back in this scenario here,
Okay.
but at the same time, I'm thinking that like I might want to go ahead and pick up a guy like Brandon Ayuk.
Okay.
I think I got out of Arizona State. I think somebody like him. I know you did a video on him before. He would be a good addition to our receiving core. I feel like he could step up in the role and fully replace a guy like a Seth Roberts.
Okay.
At least starting out, So I feel like either that or trade back and try to get some more value, like in the trenches, like on our offensive line. But either way, I wouldn't be mad either way, basically.
So I'll draft Ayuk for you. Make you happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So right now your draft is looking Kenneth Murray and Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk. Yeah.
Okay. Brandon Ayuk, when I did my video of him, one of my things that I was saying to you guys was he's not a first round pick. In my opinion, he's not. Now you're getting him here late second. So the next third round pick is coming, and then we have another third round pick after this one in the near future. Yeah. Okay. So here's your you have tight end Bryce Hopkins, safety Gilman, Charles tackle from LSU, running back Benjamin, another tackle Barch, and then you have Van Jefferson wide receiver, Kareem from Notre Dame on the edge, Robertson corner, Brian Edwards from South Carolina wide receiver, Anai from Utah. I love what he did in the Senior Bowl. Moss, the son of Randy Moss. I know people love him. Tight end, he's there. And then there's a couple guards and centers. We have Nick Harris, Stenberg, Bidas. Any position or any of these guys that you would look to draft?
Out of all of those guys, at this point in the draft, I feel like we need to put a little bit of a focus on my number one priority on our defense, which is the pass rush. So I think that I would go with a guy like Khalid Kareem.
Okay,
out of Notre Dame. I think he's a guy that sort of he lives in the backfield. If you look at like his tape, lives in the backfield. That sort of guy. He's not, the most technique and a skilled guy, but he is very athletic. And I feel like he can get to the quarterback. He's a guy who can get home. He can generate pressure without a blitz, which is something that I've been preaching on all of you guys' shows lately. So I feel like I would probably go with a guy like him at that point. But this is all like dependent on what EDC does. He may trade up,
yeah.
But if it was me, I'm going with Kareem.
Yeah, and this is before free agency too. Okay,
yeah.
So I drafted him, and then you have the next pick again. Brian Edwards still there, wide receiver. Let me see. I don't know if you want to do guards at this point. This is your third round pick. Let me see. You have Running back McFarland. If people want to do running backs, this is also another time to maybe look at Chase Claypool still there, right receiver. I don't know the name. I like him. I like what I've seen from him. Corner Robertson. So where would you think you're leaning to?
Oh man, I had no idea that Claypool was still there. I thought he was gone already. Dang.
So you can
I would have
draft
picked
him.
up Claypool earlier. Yeah, I want to draft him. I love Claypool.
Okay,
I love
that's
Claypool.
Chase
I know this is
Claypool.
kind of this is me drafting with my emotions, sort of. This is who I really want. It's like it's my Christmas list, so to say. So,
So
it may not necessarily be everything that we as a team would need necessarily, depending on, what we have and who we get in free agency and all that stuff, but I love Chase Claypool. I've talked him up a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and draft him. No regrets. No regrets.
so the last three picks are coming for you in the fourth round. So the first one here, there's Jordan Elliott, inside D lineman from Missouri. You have Robinson if you want another edge rusher. You have Grant, safety at a UCF. Let me see who has. Well, if you want another receiver, they have Michael Pittman here. Um, Jordan Elliott from Missouri. There's Ben Bretson, guard from Michigan. So anything you're leaning towards?
I mean, at this point, I'm leading more towards the trenches. Okay, like at this point in the draft. So, a guy like a Jordan Elliott on the interior D line. I'm looking at a guy like that to kind of staple our defensive line. I know O line is something that is of need right now, but I think that's something that we can get for cheap. We don't have to spend a bunch of money on a big A+ guy to come in to play O line for us. We can get some guy off of a free agency that can do the job and do the job well enough. And Lamar's he's gonna do his thing anyway. But I feel like we need to bolster our interior D line. That is something that absolutely killed us in the Titans game in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We were not able to stop Derrick Henry at all, who was also, kind of rumored to come to us. That's another story for another day, though. But,
Yeah, they're not letting Henry go.
no, definitely not. But yeah, I would go with interior D lineman Jordan Elliott.
Okay, so and there's the next pick is coming quick because it's a couple picks later. Okay,
Okay.
so we still have a couple wide receivers on the top, tight end if you want to bolster the tight end position, and then we have safety Richie Grant, Brenson's still there, the O lineman. There's Saninga, the edge from Florida. There's a couple of corners. John Brady. I don't know if the stream catch up with you, because I'm assuming that's what you're watching on the cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at Ben Bredesen out of Michigan.
Okay.
I read up a little bit about him about a week ago, but I think that he's a guy who could definitely be, kind of like we can groom somebody like him, a guy like him. He may be a little bit of a project. I've seen potential out of him watching some of his tape, but a guy like Ben out of Michigan, I think he is somebody who would definitely be good for our offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
We've got guys that are already backing up, right now, guys like Ben Powers that are,
Mm-hmm.
Marshall Yanda and guys like that. So I think that we could definitely benefit from drafting a guy like him. So that's who I'm going to go with.
Okay. And then last but not least, your last pick. The wide receivers are still there in the top. Some tight ends, another edge. Saninga still there. Corner hand. Another inside D lineman of Arkansas, Jim. Any preference here?
I mean, this is kind of like a no-brainer for me. I want one more guy off the edge, and that is Zuniga.
Okay.
I really want Zuniga out of Florida. I want I picked. Who did I pick in the second round off the edge? I can't even remember at this point.
You pick in the third round Kareem from
The third round. Yeah. Two guys that I feel like could be, heavily impactful on our defense, getting home to the quarterback and generating pressure, creating pressure on our quarterback, even when we're not blitzing, when we're dropping back in coverage and we're allowing our secondary to kind of do their thing, still getting pressure on the quarterback and forcing turnovers. Some guys like that, especially with Zuniga and Khalid, I think they can definitely be beneficial to us. So I'm going with Zuniga for my last pick.
So here's your draft. This is I don't know if you've done a mock draft, but I put you in the spot. So this is not this wasn't planned or anything. So we have Kenneth Murray was your first pick, Ayuk your second, Kareem third pick, Chase Claypool your fourth pick, Jordan Elliott your fifth pick, Ben Bredeson, guard, Michigan 6, and then Saniga. And I think that's a solid mock draft. So I'm gonna say you should be proud of this mock draft. Again, I don't know if you had done any mock drafts before, but this is a pretty good mock draft.
Appreciate that, bro.
Okay, so I'm gonna do now one for myself, and I want you to critique it because why not?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so we're gonna do another fourth round, but now with mine, you see, I don't know why this thing likes to crap up like that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here we go. Come on, Draft Network. I want to do another one. Okay. Now we're talking. Okay, cool. Boom, fourth round. Let's start this thing. So, Ravens. Look, so you got praises for Lex Guerra said that draft was fire. So,
yes, sir.
You see? Fire. What up, man? Sam, thank you everybody for joining the stream. And again, I'm trying to look roughly at this chat. It's just coming quick, and I'm, doing a bunch of stuff. We're going to take a couple calls, not that many today, but we're going to take a couple calls. Okay, this is, I have a guard from Georgia that came all the way here. Look, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to trade because I love it. And I'm going to probably, let's see the Colts. Because I don't want to trade two back. I'm gonna do. So this is the trade that I'm looking at. Trading first and second, and then swapping our second with their second. I think that's a fair trade.
Whoa, hold on. Did you say trade the first and second pick?
So my trade. This is a proposed trade. They will get our first for their second. And then we're going to trade them our second for their second. So we're basically going back, 8 spots. And our first pick is going to drop for 8 spots. And our second pick is going to gain 16 spots. See what I'm saying? So you're not getting any pick, you're getting positioning.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So you think with the positioning, putting us in the second round, what position are we going to get that late? Who are we going to draft first? What position?
You mean for the first pick?
Yeah, for our first pick, what's the position we're going to draft?
I think there's a lot of good wide receivers there that you can get one of the good wide receivers. Kenneth Murray might still be there too, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is a good trade. I actually, let me see. I like to push it a little bit. I think this is a fair trade. Let's see what it goes. So this thing doesn't go automatically. They reject. They reject a bunch of trades. So F the Colts. They do this. So let me see with the Chargers. They need an O-lineman, and the lineman is there. Let me do this. So in this case, Sutton went off. Let's trade for this. The Chargers. So trade was made with the Chargers. They did draft a tackle. So Mims went off. I know that's going to break a bunch of people's hearts. Kenneth Murray went up. So this is like the worst case situation. Hold on. Let me see what happened with my boy here. I don't want to... Hold on, because I don't want to show his thing here. me call him again. Hold on, sorry. I'm trying to get my boy back. Okay. So let's keep going here. Hopefully he goes back. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. So you guys probably hating my draft already because I traded back a couple people. So in this scenario, guys, literally I will trade back again because they're T. Higgins, yeah, Rieger, maybe. I know some people like People Jones. Ayuk is still there. I was hoping we can get Murray. There we go. Oh, he went off again. Okay, so let me see here. Let me see what in the trade back situation we have. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. I was hoping we could get Murray. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so for some reason the audio is leaking.
It's leaking?
Let me see.
Am I lagging?
Oh, wait. No, you're not lagging. Do you have your cell phone with audio?
There we go. Oh, yeah, my bad. I had it turned for a second, my bad. Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Okay, so I traded. We lost on Mary. We lost on Mims. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Mary went like 2 picks before. So, in this case, I bet you can do 20 picks by trading back. No, I don't want to do 20 picks. Rieger's still there. I don't love Rieger, but he's still there. Okay, so what I was saying to the guys here is, at this point, I will actually trade back again because I'm not in love with any of these guys.
Wait, who was your first pick? I think I missed it.
I haven't had a first pick.
Oh, you haven't see, Sonny, come on, bro. We're out here picking at number 37. Come on, man.
Pick number 37.
Oh,
so you want
Sonny.
I can pick here.
Oh, we need everything. We're already out of the first round.
Hold on. Let me just pick here then. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go with Gallimore for now. Inside the lineman. Okay, so I went with the interior. And as where's my boy here? Garnett probably saying in his house, what happened with the receiver? So yes, we missed on the receiver. We missed on the Mims. There's still some there. So we pick 60 now. So a guy like People Jones, I know a lot of people like him. I like Okwara. That's another potential edge. We have a pick coming up at 71. So I'm gonna go with. I'm actually gonna go not with the receiver. I'm gonna go with Okwara on the edge, Notre Dame. Okay, and then we're picking 71. So our pick is coming back. That's the pick that we gained for trading back. And I'm gonna pick Willie Gay Jr., linebacker out of Mississippi State. And there's another. I like Greenard from Florida. He's there. He's about to probably get drafted. I don't see us coming here anytime soon. Probably very soon, late in that third. Your boy Kareem went off. There's no receivers anymore. People are hating my draft. Don't worry. Our pick is coming.
I need a big one, Sonny. Come on.
No, I have you. I
need something special.
Chase Claypool's my next pick.
Okay, I like that. You know, my boy Chase Claypool. He's about to do so much work this season. I promise you.
I like him. I actually look at his film, and I like what I seen from him. So we're getting into the next pick here, and this is when things get a little bit interesting. Let me see here. So
real quick. Sam Reese asked, "What website are you using to do this?"
The Draft Network, and I'm a subscriber of them. That's why I can do trades. If you're not a subscriber from them, then you cannot do trades. But I figure I do this enough with you guys and I love the trades. Look, guys, I used to do this by hand, literally by hand, 5 pages, calculating trades with trade point system. It took
Respect.
me so much time. So I said, this thing at least keeps me honest. So I figured I'll do it with this. Okay, and here's what I was saying. So my picks are Gallimore, interior D lineman, Aquara, edge, Gay Jr., linebacker, and Claypool. So, let me see. I like Pittman there. That's a possibility. We only had we had 3 more picks. So, man, this is where it gets interesting. Let me see who else to see here from the edge side. Okay, we have Soniga. I think at this point, similar to you, I need to go interior O lineman. I haven't checked either Kidney or Kindley from Georgia or Bredesen. I know you checked Bredesen.
Yeah.
There's McFarland. I know people love McFarland because he's a Maryland boy. Man, this is kind of hard here. And I like Pittman. I'm not gonna lie, I like Pittman, especially as a possession receiver.
Meanwhile, here I'm looking up Willie Gay highlights and stuff to see about him because I saw somebody talking him up in the chat, and I'm looking at his highlights. He looks pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
He's legit. I haven't done my video on him, but he's legit. Okay, I'm gonna go with Bredesen. I'm gonna go with him.
Bredesen.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
That's your boy.
Yes, sir.
And then in here, I'm gonna go. I actually gonna probably finish with the same pick that you finish.
Soniga.
If he's there, yeah, I think Soniga is still kind of a project, but in the 4th round, that's what you need. I mean, you're gonna get a project. So this is how my finish. So people are probably gonna love yours more because you have bigger names. But I have Gallimore near your D lineman. I have Okwara on the edge, Gage Jr., Chase Claypool, Bredesen, Pittman, and Soniga. Let me tell you something, guys.
It's a good draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here for day 2. So, ooh, look at that big ugly face. Hold on. We need to get my boy Sutton. We need to prettify this thing here. Okay, so I'm gonna be here day 2. I can't wait because there's so many picks for day 2. I'm gonna be day 1 on Joe Nubo's channel. Anyway, guys, free agency got pushed for a week, so obviously that's gonna change a lot of how we're drafting here. But before I let my boy Sutton go, so we can take callers, Sutton, where they can find you? What is your channel?
Yeah, man. You can find me on YouTube at The Diet Therapy Podcast, where the best medication is good conversation. I do talk sports. I talk football. I talk mixed martial arts. So if you're into UFC, I talk a lot of that. I'm doing an episode this week about this past UFC card. I talk about politics, technology, a bunch of different things, pop culture, anything. So you can come visit me at the Diet Therapy Podcast on YouTube. You can also find me on SoundCloud at the Diet Therapy Podcast or Apple Podcasts if you have an iPhone at the Diet Therapy Podcast. Also, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def. That's SUTTONDEF.
And like I said, guys, I appreciate my boy here coming.
Yes.
We'll have him back. And, it's always fun, bro. We'll do this again.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate you for having me on, bro.
Take care. And, yeah, man, thank you.
All right, man. You too.
Okay, my guys. So now let me do a couple things here. Let me do some house cleaning things here because this thing. Okay, hold on. I see. Whoop. We're gonna boom. And then the video capture is there. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I see. Whoop. We're gonna boom, boom. And then the video capture is there. Hold on. 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 There we go. Perfect. So, please text if you want to, be part of the live stream at 443-292-2337. It's 443-292-2337. And that way I can call you back. Okay? Like I was saying, I love doing mock drafts. It's one of my favorite things to do. I like doing trades. So I think as we are looking into here, trades are like trading back is what it looks the most probable. Daron, what's up, man? Thank you for joining the live stream. So, and again, if we trade for Judon, and all this stuff is gonna get more clear when we start signing guys, right? Once we sign some players, we're gonna be good now, in the sense that it will give you more clarity. For example, I know this is Joe Newell's, my boy Joe Newell. Shout out to him. If we get Clowney, then your edge rusher being a first or second round pick, it's not that big of a thing. Or if you go with a guy like Littleton, now your linebacker is really something you're gonna have to go in the first or second. I don't think receivers are gonna be there at all for us to sign, meaning a good receiver. So still receiver first or second. Yeah, my favorite receiver is Mims. So Mims is the guy that if I'm gonna draft any receiver, that's the guy that I will probably go for. So hey guys, since I'm gonna have the first call, remember text, so that way we don't have the other thing, the ringtone in the back. Hello. Mohammed?
Hey. Yes, this is him.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Doing good. You have me all excited after our last discussion. So, I went out, I did a bunch of research. So I thought check back with you and kind of pick your brains on some of the research I did.
Always welcome. So shoot.
So I know, we talked about the inside linebacker, and I couldn't let that go. So I listened to a few podcasts. I don't know if you know about Ken McCusick. He has a podcast about Ravens film study.
Yep.
And I follow him throughout, last year. That's when I started following him. And he charts out all the Ravens positions, like what kind of packages we run.
Okay.
And in last year and the year before, we had more success when we went with the race car packages. And what happens in race car is we have 5 outside linebackers, and we take out all the DL, and we take out, I think even we take out our inside linebacker and put safeties just for the coverage, and because we can blitz, we can confuse, blitz can come, anybody, corner blitz, safety blitz, they can blitz from everywhere. So I like that concept. So I wanted to run that by you, and that's the first package I wanted to discuss. So from the packages that gave us the most pressure in the scheme, that our wink runs, I'm thinking what's your thoughts on the utility of an inside linebacker on a third down specifically?
Well, it all depends what inside linebacker you have, right? If you have a cover inside linebacker, you can use it because he can blitz if you need to blitz, but he can probably drop. This is one of the I probably was the biggest advocate for C.J. Mosley because I kept saying to people, C.J. Mosley's good. He can blitz. But not only he can blitz, if he needs to drop out in coverage, people used to kill him because he couldn't cover man-to-man, and that's still true. But most linebackers cannot cover man-to-man, middle linebackers or outside linebackers for that matter. But what he did, he used to drop and play zone, and his vision was good, his hands was good, his instincts was good. Yeah, for all people want to kill him for what he did against KC because he let the Cheetah cat that ball. Mostly was there to make the play. Like, he was close, but the Cheetah's one of the fastest guys in the NFL. So this is the thing. I understand what people are saying of what was successful last year. But the reality is, Mohammed, if you are able to generate pressure without the blitz, your secondary is gonna get elevated that much more. That's what I would like to see. The package that he's talking
I
about is
understand.
very good for blitzing, and I get it. And that's
Right.
what we did 50 something
No, but
percent. Go ahead.
got you. No, my only thing is that I think what makes the defense special in wing scheme is the not knowing where the blitz is coming from. So
True.
even and who is blitzing to
True.
be expected. So the deceptive blitzing is what makes us, because if we just drop back and if they know who's coming and who's not, I feel like it doesn't
doesn't work.
create, because
Yeah,
that's
the
what I'm
point is
thinking.
confusion on that. Oh, like I agree. My point is, if you have a middle linebacker that can cover, at that point you can bring him on a blitz, but he can show blitz and bail because he still is not a liability out there. That's my point. Now, if you have a run stuffer linebacker that cannot cover, that could be problematic because at that point you think he might be blitzing. Now, the reality is, the Ravens do a good job on disguising the blitz. I mean, I saw Michael Pierce drop back last year. I saw a
Right.
couple of D linemen drop and letting the linebackers rush in.
Right.
So they do a good job. But obviously, if you have a middle linebacker that can do both, at that point you don't know what he's gonna do because if he drops, he's still good on the outs on coverage, and if he decides to blitz in and rush the passer, he's still good on that, right? So if you have that versatile inside linebacker, that is the best case scenario.
Got you. So that's my only thing is like having a unicorn linebacker. Like it's gonna be, because they have to be good at so many different things. And nowadays, I think it's more gonna be like specialized role. Like you have a third down nickel backer or somebody, a safety that's converted into linebacker. So I feel like if we have two people covering, like we have somebody for the first and second down and a third down backer, can that, because we can spend less capital and draft safety who is like Devon Taylor in like the 7th round, instead of having to spend a premium pick on an inside linebacker and spend that pick on an interior defensive lineman like Blacklock or Gallimore, somebody like that. And what's your thought about that?
The big thing is, if we don't put any capital on the middle linebacker, then you can run with
Right.
what we have with Henry. Henry ran all over us. Our middle linebackers are okay, and on a week-to-week basis, it's fine. The problem is, when you're in the playoffs, teams will know what your weakness is, and they will exploit it. And Tennessee did that good against us. They, even the big plays, I'm sure it was because the safety got lazy. I'll confess, I haven't not watched that game at all after I was there live at all. But in that
Me
big
too.
play,
Me
looked
too.
like Chuck Clark was just kept looking in the backfield and got burned because Marlon probably was expecting safety help over the top, but everybody was just too worried about that running side. Our linebackers are okay. LJ4 is okay. There's a reason why he was cut. Bynes is okay. It's a reason why he hadn't played at all for a while, right? You need a better middle linebacker. You need to be still decent in every position. You can't. It's hard to be A or B plus in every position. But just bringing outside rushers and say, okay, we can defend like this, or maybe bringing some more nickel. We're gonna defend this like this. Yes, in a passing situation, that's the perfect way. But if they run on
Right.
you, right? If they power run you, Tennessee was
Gotcha.
getting big yardage when they run. That's what we do. That's what the Ravens do.
Right,
So
right. And I agree. I agree. My only thing is that when I looked at, I didn't look at a entire film of on Kenneth Murray or the Queen, Patrick Queen. They didn't look like they were great in run fits. I think they are more like coverage linebackers. So that's what worries me, is because I didn't see. I like Malik Harrison. He was very good with reading the blocks, staying in his run phase, because especially Kenneth Murray, he's aggressive. He goes after the ball, but sometimes that's why he's out of the position and he misses his run fits. And same thing with Queen. I mean, they might be taught in it might take a year or two for them to develop. What are your thoughts about that?
Both of them need to be a little bit more disciplined. They're very aggressive, but they also very athletic, and you can probably just teach them, hey, this is your gap, this is what you cannot get too hype. Problem against some of these guys that are coming, they're used to just be all over the field making the play. In the NFL, there's a lot of gap assignment. It's just a lot of do your job. Don't worry about it. Just do your job.
Right.
And everybody does their job. This should work. So I like Kenneth Murray. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of him. I see your points. This is not disputing your points or if you should not draft those guys. I think we need a big edge rusher, not big in size, but a guy that can be impactful, so we don't have to blitz as much. But that doesn't mean that we don't need that middle linebacker because we need. Look, I don't know about you guys. I think the only reason we were high against the run was because we were blowing teams up and they were giving up the run. But we didn't look great against the run. This is not against Tennessee. Overall, we didn't look great against the run. So I need people that can defend the run. And a reason against our middle linebacker was just okay.
No, what are your thoughts about the jumbo nickel? Because I felt like jumbo nickel in certain third down and short yardage situation where they are prone to run or pass, jumbo nickel was more effective when we have like three defensive linemen and we have safeties in the back, like strong safeties. And that's why I was thinking maybe a strong safety that's like a linebacker type in a jumbo nickel might be more effective as opposed to having an inside linebacker that's not great in coverage, or the other way where they're not great in like run fits.
So the jumbo nickel, it's not that it's a bad formation, but still the safeties usually are good coming downhill and looking at the play versus playing very close to the line. I'm not a big fan of having the safety just in close to the line. They can blitz and that's fine here and there, but just having them constantly close to the line. Safeties' bodies are usually not built for having that punishment that often.
Right, because I feel like somebody like Akeem Gaither, like I like forget can't pronounce his whole name, but yeah, he seems like instead of going with Kenneth Murray in the first round, because I feel like because inside linebacker has been devalued, it's more like running back for offense. It's the same thing, I feel like. So I'm not saying don't spend on an athletic linebacker. I'm not sure if we have to do it with the first or the second round pick. I think we can do it with the later rounds. Is what I'm thinking.
Okay, so the middle linebacker, the value is yes and no. They're still getting drafted high. Last year we got Devin White, top 5 pick, and then Devin Bush from the Pittsburgh. They traded up and got it with a 10th overall pick. So the two linebackers went up early. It's just there's not that many coming up. They're impactful. Devin Bush played fairly well for the Steelers. I will not know about Devin White. I didn't watch him coming back. I liked him coming out of the college, but not necessarily watch a lot of tape of him.
Because I feel like if the D-line does their job, I mean, that's what because if they keep the linebackers clean, that will help us. And if we invest more on the defensive line, I feel like we can get away with like not having a premium pick on the inside linebacker.
We definitely need to invest in the interior D-lineman. That's no doubt. We need to get Pierce is gone, so you have Big Baby over there. Wormley needs to step up, but in my opinion, this is where if Calais Campbell gets dropped or anybody like that, you plug them there. You can get also a guy like Snack Harris and make him the nose tackle, still keep Big Baby and the D tackle. Again, if Calais is there, that you have 3 big boys in the inside of the D lineman. I think our front 7 is our weakest, and we need to figure out how to fix it. Our outside linebackers are okay, inside D lineman is average, and linebacker are average. That is our weakest. We need to refocus on how to get it better.
I got you. So one last question I had with you, especially with Yanda retiring, what are your thoughts of drafting like a center like Cesar Ruiz in the first round, or like Tyler Biadasz in the second or the third? Because I feel like I don't want to move our guard that can play both from Alabama that can play
Bozeman.
center. Yeah, Bozeman can play both center and guard, but I feel like if we draft Cesar Ruiz in the first round, because I want the line to be solidified, especially inside pressure, will cause some. Because when you have free rushers, I feel like Lamar loses some of his fundamentals, and the throws kind of, that's what I'm worried about. Like especially inside pass rush.
I think we need to address it, but addressing it could be already in house. If Ben Powers ready to step up, we drafted him last year with a 4th round pick. Hopefully he's ready, and then he can be plug and play.
So we stick with McCarry for center?
No. So okay, let me rephrase this. This is all depends how Skura is, right? If Skura is ready to come back, then you have Macari and Power fighting for that right guard position. If Skura is not back, then your best hope is Macari can be the center and Powers can be the guard, and it also is in-house. Reality is you have to either draft a guy or sign somebody.
Right. That is what I was thinking, and I like some from Cesar Ruiz. Like, he looked like he had the tenacity, because I feel like while losing Yanda, I know the other guard that we have backing up, he was pretty tenacious. I feel like Macari is not as strong up front, and if we draft a center that has more power to kind of hold up one-on-one with the nose tackle,
I like
that might be better for running game.
Yeah, I like Cushenberry. He's one of my favorites.
Got you, but Cushenberry, that's what I was worried about. Cushenberry is his power, because he seemed like he's more fit for the zone scheme, because he's more athletic. Cushenberry, I don't know about his power.
I saw some videos on one-on-ones on the Senior Bowl. Do look good.
Right.
He looks good.
Okay. So you do think that we'll be investing higher picks on the interior O-line?
It all depends. Like I said, they will know how Skura is. If Skura they think is back, then you have Macari and Power battling for that right guard position. You might be okay. And you can draft maybe like a 3rd round or 4th round. If Skura's not back, you have a problem. Best scenario, both of those guys can slot in, but it's a lot of ifs, right?
So yeah, I agree. So would you? Because I feel like in free agency, interior D line is looks like a strength. Edge doesn't look great. I mean, edge look great, but they might be overpaid. So, what are your thoughts? Like, what strategy do you think Ravens should employ in terms of free agency? Because we don't have a lot of cap space, but we do have some.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should go and try to, based on their draft, their scouting, they should know, okay, my weakest position is X, right? Whatever X is. And go back and try to find a free agent for that weakest position. If they find it, let's say edge rusher is the weakest position, then you go ahead, draft that guy, and move on. And then on the draft, you don't have to address it. Let's say it's O-line. They say that they're not happy with Powers and Skura cannot come back, and they like, okay, there's the guard from New England. Let's just get him, and we have our guard. We don't have to worry about it. So it all depends. It definitely depends. How are they seeing their inside?
But I feel like those top flight agents might be overpriced for us, because
anything in the free agency you're gonna overpay.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, the free agency route. Because I like what Ravens do is like they wait for the second wave. Because that's what I was thinking was like we wait for the second wave, even for the comp picks, because I don't know how the comp picks is gonna change after the new CBA. So that's the thing that kind of have me worried. Like with the new changes in the comp picks, I don't know how that will affect our strategy for the free agency.
Yeah, nobody right now knows what how the how the new CBA will affect everything. So we have to wait and see. Um, but yeah, I agree. They usually try that second wave. I don't know. There's a lot of clowny chat, but supposedly now he wants to go to New York. I don't know. They might say, "Hey, let's trade Judon for Ngakwe, and then H team will be happy." I'm not sure, but it's gonna be. They have enough money
I mean,
to.
for Ngakwe, can we afford to pay him 22 mil? That's what I'm worried about.
They
It's
can
not the
afford it.
trading for him; it's paying him.
They can afford him. After that, you cannot afford much. Now, I've been saying that the best strategy is if Calais gets cut, you get
Right.
Calais, you get
I think
Snack.
he's already cut. He's
Uh,
been yeah, Clay has been cut from Jaguars, I think.
okay, well, regardless, if you can get Calais
Right.
Campbell, Snack Harris, and maybe Littleton or Joe Schobert or somebody like that, now you can get 3 players. That's more like a second wave guys. But it will bolster
Right.
your interior D line. It will make better your middle linebacker position. And at that point, you go with less holes on the draft, and you can go with the best player available strategy. Maybe at that point, you're leaning more into the wide receiver in the early rounds.
Yeah, because my thing was Juwan Hargrave. I like him because he is like a run stuffer, but he can push the pocket and be good on passing downs. I feel like, and we can even sign him to a longer term contract because he's still pretty good interior D lineman.
Don't disagree. So yeah, but that's the whole thing. We can probably be fine if we sign a couple guy, right? Vic Beasley's still out there. So yeah, I say I would prefer that. Now I would get excited if we sign one of the big time free agents, but my preference is sign more B players and sign a couple, then that A plus put one there.
Right, because my thing is, other thing, what I'm worried about is there are few corners that gonna be paid now. That's gonna reset the corner market. So we gotta think about if we wanna extend Marlon this year, because do we wait for the corner that was traded to like Ramsey, to reset the corner market, and then we might have to go up to 18 mil instead of like 16 mil a
Yeah,
year.
I think they're gonna sign Marlon at some point this year. Stanley needs to be signed this year for sure, and
Right,
then
I
and
think.
then go from there.
Right. So, because if we're gonna do all of that this year, I don't think that leaves a room for a lot of A-list free agents in this for our for our free agency.
Yeah, man, I agree. So let's see. Like I said, next week free agency will be open. I think by the time that
Right.
we do our next live stream. But any other question, Mohammed?
No, no. I'm. Thank you so much for all your insight, and
No, bro.
I'm just excited to see how it's going, and it's been great so far.
Yeah, no, I'll say thank you. I appreciate you. Um, See you next week, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, my guys. So a couple things. The live streams are probably hopefully next week we're gonna change it to Mondays. Thank you for joining the live stream. I know there were some other phone callers, but we took our time in the before session, so I'm gonna try to leave more time next week for phone calls. So I promise I'm gonna try to do that. Thank you for being on the live stream. Thank you guys for always supporting the channel. All I want is, like I said, thumbs up. If you want merch, now it's in Amazon.com, so you can go, if you're a Prime members, free shipping. Just look for SG Sports. There's shirts. There's the for the cell phone, and yeah, like I said, make sure you hit that bell, because if I change it to Monday, you are gonna get popped like, hey, Sunny's live and all that good stuff. So hey guys, thank you for joining the live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow if you're gonna go in the Judon channel. If not, next week here. See you next time, guys.